Hello YouTube fans, here again. Now remember when I did the 8 series of Dyers? Why not this one? Everyone remembers it, that being the 9 series of Dyers. Now this one has to be the most hated, the most despised episode of Dyers. And the reason why, because there was no Batsy Duffy in it. We all know he got epically killed in the 8 series. He made that epic speech like I could paint the wall pink, probably make it blue with little pink spots on. And it still wouldn't have the same effect because it probably be time where he's still making that speech. But we all remembered it. But to be honest, I didn't mind the ninth one. I actually liked the ninth one. I liked it for a lot of reasons. Now, as you know, the second actress to play Miss Sarah left the show in the 8 series. Granted, this is what I thought of her acting. A piece of wood. But I've got another in a taster, right? I just felt she was miscast. And I do know in real life, when they were doing the 8 series of Dyers, a lot of actors and actresses dipped her a hard time. They dipped her a hard time. Now they look like they got along with her, but that is acting. At the end of takes, they have a different science treatment and so on. So if that was true, I kind of felt bad for the actress in that way. But however, as we all know, in 1986, she sadly passed away. May she rest. As I was about to say, however, Larry Atman begged and pleaded for the original actress to prize her role as Miss Ella. So it's good to see her come back anyway. And yeah, they also bring back Mark Dyson. I love Mark Dyson, the character. I mean, you remember the actor? Think of Rollerball. Remember the one who played James Charm's mate, his mate, the one who gets spiked on the head and he ends up in a coma. Well, he played Mark Dyson in the 6th and the 7th series. And when you think about it, the time of resurrecting back from the dead never gets mentioned that. And another highlight of the show is they bring Mike Singer. They bring Mike Singer in it. You know Mike Singer? Beastmaster, V, the mini-series. I remember reviewing V, the final battle. And granted, I'm not a lover of it, but I can watch it as a time waster. The TV series of V. So to see Mike Singer in the 9th series of Dyers is like gold. It's like gold dust. And I love it. I just love it. He's not like an Indiana Jones type of character and all, which I love. And he's like a guy who, he gets diamonds, he gets emeralds, he gets everything. So I kind of like that. It's a good little touch to the show. And they were originally going to bring back Jock. Now, as we all know, the actor that played Jock in 1981 sadly passed away. So obviously it was going to be a different actor to play the role. But it sadly never foiled on because we all know when the series wasn't doing that good, they decided to stop it. It's only when they did the 10th episode they brought back that idea of bringing back Jock. So I kind of like it. You know what I mean? You got the idea that Sue Ellen's gone back into base. She's now a bad alcohol on it. But you do get a very long Hugh Diamond Phillips. You get a very long Hugh Diamond Phillips. Anyone that doesn't know who he is, think of Lungdons. And think of the movie I Reviewed. He was in The First Power. So I like that. It's refreshing to see him in it as an extra in one little small role. You keep your eyes open, you will see him where he plays a gang member. So I kind of like that if you get a very long Hugh Diamond Phillips before he made it big in the movie career. So you get it all. You do get a James Bond villain herself who becomes a villain in this. Right? What it is JR does some business with her, I don't mean that in a naughty way. And he doesn't know why, because there's another actor who I forgot to say who was in the 8 series, another actor who's sadly no longer with us, may he rest, called Jack. Right? And Jack apparently looks like this guy, is like an ambassador. And what they don't know is the woman is going to assassinate the guy who looks like Jack to make it look like it's the ambassador. Basically fake his death because he looks like him. They don't know that bit. And that kind of follows on in the series of Dyers. As the series goes on, there's been a few other actors back. Another actor who's sadly no longer with us. Dusty comes back. Jayton's son. He comes back. But what happens is, Sue Ellen comes out of beer. She manages to fall in love with JR again. and Dusty sadly leaves for the last time. Another actor who is sadly no longer with us. So it's kind of sad, really. There's a lot of actors and actresses who are no longer with us, who are in Dyers. So it's kind of sad. But they've got the main villain who's going to die and assassinate. You've got one woman that falls for Jack who gets killed, but off steam, because again, they're trying to keep it mild. It's a TV show, and all fair said and done. So it gets to the end time of the Cliffhanger of Dyers. You got Jack's sister who gets killed in a car explosion. Sue Ellen, because the explosion's set for them, by the way. But mistakes happen. Sue Ellen, as I was about to say, goes into the lift of JR's office and gets blown up. And you're thinking, whoa, what's happened here? Jack's sister's got killed and Sue Ellen. But no. As we all know, in 86, like Gutter Sears wasn't doing that good. Whoever thought of the idea is like the maddest idea ever. It's mad. But Larry Hapman, he begged and begged Patsy Duffy to price his role as Bobby. But I do know there was a lot of ideas at the time. That ideas that he was going to be in a wheelchair, he faked his own death, it was a look-alike, blah, 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 blah. But instead they thought, well, why not bring him back by a nightmare? A bloody nightmare. So you've got this famous scene where you see Swain get killed in an explosion. You're like, never saw that coming. And then you see Swearing, well, she got killed by an explosion, I meant to say. Pam, I said that again. Pam wakes up. She is the sour, so thinks it's Mark Jason because they just got married. And who do you see? Bobby! Bobby in the famous sour scene. You see Bobby in the famous sour scene. He says hello. Pam looks gobsmacked, and it ends there with the famous Cliffhanger. It was only in the next series, the 10th series, you find out it was all a nightmare. It was all a bloody nightmare. So you're telling me from 1985 to 1986, Pam was having a nightmare. She was having a nightmare. And in one way, it's good, and it's never been done in soap history. Never been. But I do know in the 9th series, there was a lot of mad ideas in a lot of soap. One of the soaps, one of the females got abducted by aliens. Not making this up. Dinner's there, they all got shot up, and then the next one you find out they just got fest wounds, even though we all saw him get shot up. So they had a lot of mad stories in the days of the American soaps, but this one had to be the one that made history. The fact they brought Patsy Duffy's character, Bobby, back by a nightmare. In one way, it's sort of the same, because I felt sorry for the actors who were going to appear in it, you know, like Mark Jason prizing his role, because I like Mark Jason. The idea of them getting to death with Pam, admiring Pam, and you think he's going to be a main character to find that, sorry mate. But good news, Patsy Duffy's coming back. They're doing good ideas for the actor that played Ray and Donna. So in some of the episodes, they never really did them a lot of good stories. So the idea that Donna lost a baby, and they would drop the lad who's deaf. He was going to have a role in it. That never happened, because we all know it was a nightmare, and the idea of Jock coming back got scrapped. Because it was a good storyline, though, they kept it for the 10th series and brought back the actor who was going to play the role as Jock. We all know, well, that's a different story. But, so it's kind of sad in one way that the idea of the stories got scrapped, you know what I mean? But it's a definite idea story. It was good how they brought back Patsy Duffy. It was a shower scene. Everyone remembers it. And there's a good bit of history here. Unlike now, you could find it on the internet. That's what they didn't have the internet back then. So they disguised it so it didn't go out like they did in the other review shot JR. They disguised it that Patsy Duffy was doing a shampoo ad. He was doing a shampoo ad. So they did the idea of him marketing a shampoo. So all they did was they used a cutaway from that advertisement of him selling shampoo, and they put it in the ending of Dyers on the 9th series. And it was only when you got the 10th series you have to feel that it was all a bloody nightmare. A bloody nightmare. But it made soap history. Everyone remembers it as much as Who Shot JR. That is Bobby getting resurrected by a nightmare. Until then, I'll see you soon for more movies and more reviews.